Power is expressed through these highly specific, evolved, nonverbal displays. I think it's interesting to look at images of Obama where he will be leaning back with his feet up on his desk and, really spread out when he's sort of in his own space. Powerlessness, on the other hand, is expressed through the very opposite nonverbal displays. One that comes to mind is an image of Michelle Obama on the cover of Vogue, where she's all sort of crossed up and making herself really small, which to me doesn't even fit her. It doesn't suit her. I'm Amy Cuddy, and I'm a social psychologist and professor at Harvard Business School. My main collaborator in this research, Dana Carney, and I were having a conversation after teaching MBA students at 2 different schools. One of the things that we noticed was that the students who were participating a lot had different body language from the students who were not participating a lot, who tended to be women and non-white men. What we were really interested in knowing was whether or not you could change their body language and actually change the way they felt and behaved. Testosterone is known as the dominance hormone. It's associated with confidence and assertiveness. Cortisol, on the other hand, is known as the stress hormone, and that's associated with an inability to adapt in highly stressful situations. People looking at primate hierarchies notice that if one member of the hierarchy becomes more powerful, within a short period of time, that member's testosterone level rises and his cortisol level drops. So we started wondering, if you pose as if you have power, will your body and your mind change in a way that looks as if you have power? So in short, we were really asking, can you fake it till you make it? So to test the predictions, we had people come into the lab. We took a saliva sample to get their baseline hormone levels. After that, we randomly assigned them to one of 2 conditions. It was a high power pose condition or a low power pose condition. So what we found was that after just 2 minutes of high power posing or low power posing, you get these changes in testosterone, cortisol, and risk-taking behavior in ways that are consistent with actually having power in the real world. The lab is set up for psychophysiological studies, so we're measuring things like heart and respiratory rate in addition to the hormone measures. What we know is that sitting or standing in these high power poses causes these changes that are consistent with having power. What we want to know now is how far does that go outside the lab? What can you do with that? Where can you take that?
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right.
What we were interested in was not turning Gordon geckos into bigger Gordon geckos. What we were interested in were these students who were sitting quietly, even if they were really smart, but they were lacking the confidence to really get in there. And we knew that that would be a problem for them not only in the classroom, but after they leave school, in job interviews, leading team meetings, just sort of in life in general. If you think about what people are doing before a job interview, what you picture probably is somebody sitting in a chair and they're sort of hunching over their iPhone or their BlackBerry. They're making themselves small. What we're finding so far, and this is ongoing research, is that the people who sit or stand in these high power poses for just a couple minutes, they are evaluated more positively overall, and they're more likely to get the job.
Like this.
People started asking us, are you recommending that we just, put our feet up on our desk and our hands behind our head when we're in a job interview? We weren't recommending any of those things. This was not about what you do during the interaction. This is what you do before the interaction. They should be finding a space, even if it's a bathroom stall, to expand and make themselves as big as possible. Walk up and down the hallway swinging your arms, stand on your toes. I've heard from a world-class violinist who now power poses before he performs, and he says it's dramatically improved his performances. I've heard from an older person, a retiree, who uses power poses before she goes in to talk to her doctor. I can't believe the range of applications. I'm learning so much. When I was 19, I was in a really bad car accident and had a very serious brain injury. I had doctors telling me, you probably aren't going to finish college. The neuropsych testing was sort of suggesting the same thing, that I had lost IQ points, significant percentage of my IQ points. And I finally decided that the doctors just were wrong. I didn't have to accept things as they appeared to be. So I think it's that same irrational and stubborn optimist in me that led me to believe you could make this kind of change. This is a really tiny tweak. This is something so small that you can change and get a pretty big effect. I mean, we don't know how long it lasts, but it's a big effect. What are the other tiny tweaks that you can make that can change and improve your life and other people's lives?